Thank you everyone for taking the time to call in this afternoon. This is Aaron Keck, the product manager for the fuel filtration group here at Schroeder Industries. Today's presentation is targeting the GeoSeal filtration product, so our GHPF particulate filter and the GHCF coalescing filter. This is a bit of a review from some of the content that we know, with some updates on competitive comparisons. And in addition to that, we'd like to review an update to the BDF product line, one that you might already be familiar with in our current fuels catalog, but what changes we're looking to implement coming up here within the next month. So to get things started, we'll review the GeoSeal particulate and coalescing filters, what's happening with the BDF. I know the burning question that will be coming about is, what about the original series of the BDF? And when is this information going to be ready and available to those of us on this call? So we'll go over those topics, starting with a review of our current GeoSeal product. So this is the standard catalog information that we've already got posted and published on our website, on our web catalog, and with product information available. But it's important to know this is a really great entry-level product for particulate filtration in any number of fuels applications out there today. Larger porting, higher flow rate, this is really allowing us to get into applications that we weren't able to before. Some of the key benefits. We're looking at sizing. We are right on par with some of the leading competitors using particulate filtration solutions. And the important thing to note is in that same size and footprint, we're almost 54% increasing over the next leading competitor's published flow rate. So in this case, we're rated at 100 gallon per minute. The next leading competitor in a similar footprint is only rated to 65 gallon per minute. And so this allows us to expand or put in place a filter with higher capacity without taking up the space of what would be needed with two filter housings of that competitive solution. Now we have a variety of micron rating offerings, and along with that, this filter includes that particulate element, an element change indicator as part of the standard list pricing, and a convenient drain plug that makes element servicing clean, easy, mess-free. So we're looking at an all-inclusive solution. So in that list price, we are competitive gallon per minute per dollar based upon the leading competitor retail price today. So the important thing to note is using this and as we promote the new GeoSeal filter housings, these housings are intended to be turnkey, ready to go, plug and play with all the basic entry-level features needed. So that way, our customers, our end users are not surprised by this a la carte pricing of features or functions that most of our end users or customers like to consider basic standard features. The GHCF, the GeoSeal High Flow Coalescing Filter. So based upon that similar footprint, we see a lot of leading competitors matching up with that 25 gallon per minute flow rate and the larger 1.5-inch porting. Same pressure rating, which is needed in the industry of 150 psi, with a minimal element service and the D5 latching indicator. So where this benefits is within the same length as the competitive product, we're about 22%, just under that, a width reduction or the diameter of the competitive filter housing. That can help save footprint, save space, slim down the installation space needed for the same 25 gallon per minute flow rate. And this also includes those standard features like the coalescing element, the element indicator, and in this case, a sight glass and drain valve. Those are standard features as it comes based upon that list pricing. The additional benefit that we often overlook is that no lost fasteners statement there. Easy to service using a standard strap wrench. There's no fasteners, no bolts, no extra pieces that can get lost in the shuffle, dropped, ingress any contamination. At this point, it makes it very easy and simple to service and replace those elements. Now, our list pricing is also very competitive versus the standard retail pricing of that leading competitor. But what we've come to talk about today is an introduction of a new product. It's basically a revamp of the existing BDF bulk diesel filter and what it looks like moving forward. So in the picture here, you can see what the original series, which I'm sure many of us are familiar with, that is currently found in our catalog. The image on the right-hand side, that new series, if you recognize those filter housings we just talked about, we're integrating the new GeoSeal filter housings for a number of reasons, which we'll cover here on one of our next slides. To compare and contrast, the biggest differences between the original series and our new series of BDF starts with the flow rate. So our standard BDF 1 and BDF 2 are sized at 16 and 32 gallon per minute, whereas the new filter series increases that flow capacity to 25 and 50 gallon per minute respectively. The porting, because of the flow rate, was at 1 inch and is increased to 1.5 inch SAE O-ring boss porting. Our pressure rating remains the same at 150 psi, but we start to see some differences in the element service clearances needed. So the original series originally required 2.5 inches below that particulate filter and 18 inches above. So there's a significant difference needed, a larger space needed to service those elements, whereas with the new series, there's only up to 4.5 inches below that GHCF, the coalescing filter, needed to service those filter housings. Now that reduces the overhead space needed above the filters, so you can install this into much tighter, more compact applications. An additional benefit, we see the element indication on the original series had the D5 indicator, that resettable pop-up on the particulate element, but the ICF had the standard bar indicator. This functioned well to tell you when to service that element based upon differential pressure, but it wasn't latching, so it didn't provide that feedback constantly unless the system was in operation. The nice added benefit of transitioning to the new GeoSeal filter housings is that D5 pop-up latching indicator on both filter solutions. Where are we using this BDF filter assembly? The same applications that we would look at before. As a reminder, we're looking at point of use, dispensing of fuel, fuel transfer applications going from those bulk tanks to secondary storage or containment, or even fuel polishing systems, cleaning up those tanks, kidney looping the fuel to get to a certain ISO cleanliness code. So where do we see the market channels for putting these filters into those applications? Well, first and foremost, commercial fleets have provided a great avenue for us to put these in place in the field. Whether it's construction, rail, refuse, any number of commercial fleets using large vehicles who have control over the bulk fuel storage and the dispensing portion going into their equipment has a need for improved filtration, especially when Tier 4 engines are being used in their fleets. Now, beyond that, we list out fuel distribution. So the companies who come supply the fuel into those large bulk storage tanks for the commercial fleets, those companies have a vested interest in providing their customers with value add, some additional service, additional protection. These filters can do that and ensure the additional revenue of replacement elements. Using that patented GeoSeal technology, it ensures quality elements are going in as a replacement each and every time. Now, fuel service contractors, those are applications where someone is providing a tank cleaning or tank polishing service. Those contractors are also looking for ways to improve their filtration to service those customers faster, easier, at a lower cost. Our filtration would be a great solution for them to help improve what they provide to their customers. And fuel system OEMs. At the end of the line, we've got companies who manufacture fuel polishing systems for backup generators or standby generators, whether it's in hospitals, in banks, in telecommunications, or in data centers. Any of those applications typically are requiring a kidney loop system or a fuel polishing system to be installed. Those OEMs making those systems are looking for easier to install turnkey solutions that help them meet the Tier 4 requirements. And this is a great solution to enable them to do that. So as we talked about earlier, just to review some of the key benefits is that improved flow rate. The reduced footprint is dramatic in change from the original series to the new updated BDF series, going from 20.5 inches of additional clearance above and below to now just 4.5 inches below the filter assembly. This really helps to reduce the footprint for installation. It's especially critical when you're looking at installing this into fuel polishing cabinets or enclosures. This really provides value there. It's easy to service. There's no additional specialty tools needed. It's simply a standard strap wrench, or for the GHPF, an open-end wrench to be able to loosen the bowls, service the elements, and replace them. We're not worrying about losing additional fasteners, seals, components that are often lost in competitive or even the former version of the BDF. If you look at competitive pricing, right now, if we compare this to the standard original version of the BDF, we are at or below the current pricing when this product is to be released. And this includes the elements. I know formerly the elements for our original BDF series were a la carte. You had to add those to the cost of the BDF assembly. In this case, to make it easier for the customer to integrate, there's no guessing at what the end price is going to be. There's no making the mistake of quoting this and forgetting the cost of the elements. In this case, that's all wrapped up into the list price, and we are at or below the original BDF pricing. So this really provides a more competitive solution, including the elements. So the burning question, which I'm sure some of you are thinking, is what about the original series? The bad news first. It is going to be removed from the standard fuel filtration catalog, that L2889 that I'm sure many of you have in print. It is going to be going away during the next revision, and our online web catalog will be updated when the release is complete. But here comes the good news. We will continue to fully support the original series. Any existing projects that are out there, those are no longer, there's no concern of those being obsolete. These filters are fully supported for existing projects, new projects, where it's appropriate to have top serviced filter elements in a situation where these filters may be mounted tight to a bulkhead and there's no bottom access. Top filter element servicing may be a requirement for that application. And we can still specify and build these for new custom projects that a customer requires those features. Now, in addition to that, the spare parts will still continue to be supported for these legacy products. So don't be concerned, don't be disheartened that we're replacing one for the other. We will still continue to support the original series. The intent in changing is to improve the serviceability for a customer, the competitive price point, and provide a lot of additional features and benefits that we just couldn't incorporate into the original series of the BDF. Now, manuals, drawings, all of that information will remain available, and if you should need any of those documents, please feel free to reach out to our inside sales and support staff to gain that information. So the updated BDF, that next question that's burning is, when is this going to be ready? Right now, the launch is scheduled for second quarter 2019. Now that means this product is ready and available going into the catalog pages. So that update will be done on the web catalog and on the website pages. The BDF will change at that point. Now, when we go through the process of reprinting the new updated version of that catalog, that will be when the printed version will be updated with that new BDF series. In addition to this launch, New drawings, new manuals, and the updated price list will also be updated at that point. So with that, I thank you for your time. Have a great evening and a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to you calling in on our next call.